Hey, this is Dr. Tim Stafford, and I thought I would go over my ideas as I've been thinking about the LBFG content development plan. Having now been in a couple of meetings and having been thinking about it, I think this might be a good framework for us to begin working on this. I think what we need to do is start with a report. The reason I'm saying to start with a report is because to start with a PowerPoint presentation or a webinar means that there would have to be copious notes, and it would involve an expert needing to be involved in writing the text that would go along with a webinar or a PowerPoint. So, in the absence of really being able to do that, if we already start with a report, we already have the we already have the content, and we already have the graphics, and so we can then ask ourselves: does this report is it good for us to be able to use it as for an article, or maybe more than one article, or can it be used for a case study? Can we develop it into a case study? It's not really or, it's and or. So it could be that the right report could do all three of these things. And then the third thing is, can it be used for an infographic? Can we develop some sort of infographic around it? If we decide that it can be used to develop articles, then all we really need to do is export the sections that we think could go into an article, and then write the necessary connecting text, an introduction, um, or possibly, um, you know, intermediary text. I mean, it's not going to be a lot of text, but we're going to have to write some that clean it all, that put it all together. But we export the sections, we arrange them, we write the connecting text, and we have an article. If we decide that it's worthy of a case study, then we can use the case study template that we already have. We fill in the details from the report into the template, and we have a case study. We use one of the pictures that comes with the report, or we find that if there's a better picture out there somebody knows about, we can use it. If we want to deal with an infographic, if we want to develop this into an infographic, then we just compile whatever data we want. We outsource that for production. Somebody else does it for us. All we need to do is just compile the data and decide what kind of infographic we want to show. Send that out for production. Of course, this third kind of tertiary level here, as we start up here in the primary and we work our way through, this level would be iterative. So we'd be going back and forth a little bit between the expert, make sure that it said the right thing and it has the details that it needs, but it would cut the writing significantly. Once we have all that, then we can start to develop social media, and I have several ideas. Number one, we can do what we normally do, which is blog posts, LinkedIn posts, and LinkedIn groups. So we can decide what kind of media, what kind of posting we want to do, and we could create different pieces of it for different people. We could highlight different pieces of the article for different people and use the same article or infographic or case study to post with the various experts. One additional thing though is I think that if we had 4 or 5 blog posts, that could equal an ebook, a short little ebook that could be about one particular thing. And I can think of several situations that we already have we have multiple blog posts in a series. We could put all those together into our own ebook and publish that ebook, and then use it in our social media that people can download. We can also put it on the website. In addition to the blog post, the LinkedIn post, and the post into LinkedIn groups, I thought of a couple other things. Number one, we can do Blog Talk Radio interviews, where we could set up at a time a 10 or 15 minute interview that would take place between two experts on a certain subject. Have that interview. That immediately becomes worthy of a podcast. We can send that information out. We can post it on our website. We can do a lot with it. We can also send it through the Blog Talk Radio services and have the text written. So then the Blog Talk Radio interviews becomes a catalyst to write more articles, because all we do is take that text, do the same thing here, write and edit the necessary connecting text, and we have another article. So I think these Blog Talk Radio interviews are going to be important that we begin those, and even if we did, two a month, and it all can be done through the phone, and I can set that up here in my office and send out all the interview, send out everything. It's very easy to do, and no cost to us as long as we're not, as long as we don't have more than 3 people on at the same time. There'll be no cost to us, and as long as we don't go more than 30 minutes. Another idea I have is that we could record slideshows. I'm thinking 3 to 5 slides that an expert could record over, just using screen flow or SlideShare or something that we could just put 3 or 5 slides together, and that person could just talk about these 3 or 5 slides. In addition, so that becomes a YouTube then video type update. The very same way that I'm making this video right now, somebody could sit at my computer and make this video very easily. We could also do it through Uber Conference. We could record, we could do it through Zoom. There's a lot of things we could do. They may not be the best quality if we do it that way. The best quality would be what I'm doing right now. But this would be very simple for us to be able to do and set up. In addition, pardon me, in addition, we can send this video out to be transcribed, and then that transcription can also become an article. So that also can be done. We can have that outsourced. It doesn't show that here, but that is possible. And then finally, another thing we could do is we take any of our blog posts, any of our articles, anything that we have, an ebook that we produce, and we can send it to Fiverr. And for $5 to $10, $15, we can have a professional voiceover that information, and so we can create an additional podcast type scenario using our content, and but having somebody voice it over professionally, and it would not be that expensive, and we would then get stuff back, and it would all be professionally done. That's another way that we could repurpose all this. All of this can be done for just one report. And so my thinking is, let's get a report and see if we can't. Let's find a report that we can do all of these things. Let's do one. Let's see what kind of effort it really takes from all of us, and how much information we can really get out of one. And if we'll do that, and we'll just stick to one, see how much it gets, then we'll know exactly how much content we can generate from one report, and then we can find the next report and do it again. And each time that we will do it, if we do it 2 or 3 times, we'll get into a system that will know exactly how to do these things. The first ones, of course, will be the clunkiest. So we don't want to just do one. We want to do 2 or 3. But we want to start by doing them one at a time, so that we can kind of get an understanding of how this is going to work and what we can get out. But all these things can be being developed all at the same time with just one report. So those are my thoughts as we go into our meeting today. Just wanted to give you my thoughts, since my talking voice isn't very good. I just wanted to be able to share my thoughts with you and see what you thought, and then we can talk about it later. Thanks.